Decisions, decisions, decisions. We might not like to admit it, but the decisions that we make shape our lives in so many different ways. It is very easy to blame others for the unfavorable results that we have in life. But if you take a step back and you really look at it, you would realize that you also had a role to play. There were also times where you had a choice to make, where you had a decision to take. Of course, there are certain things that we don't have control over, such as the family that you're born into, the environment that you grow up in. But you get to a certain age where you are now responsible for the choices that you make. And sometimes when you begin to make choices by yourself, you realize that you are not so great at decision making as you thought. When you're younger and other people are making decisions for you, it's okay to, like, it's easier to blame people and point fingers. But when you grow up, when you get to a certain age and you are now in charge of making your decisions, you really get to see that you are not so great at making decisions. The power of decision making. Now, how does decision making come into play? Decision making comes into play when you have two or more unknowns, right? You have different paths. You have part A, you have part B, and you have part C. Three different roads, right? And you are not sure which one to take because you don't know which one will be most favorable for you. There are three unknowns, right? That is why sometimes decision making can be tough because you don't know what lies ahead. So you make the decision hoping that you are actually making the right choice. For me, one of the ways that I've been able to ensure that I'm making the right decision is to ask God. Yes, as simple and basic as that sounds, God is my biggest pointer, right? He is the one that helps me when I want to make a decision, and I trust that if he tells me go here, then that is the best possible choice that I could be making at the moment. So if you draw closer to God, he will draw closer to you. And if you are friends with God, if you are on the Lord's side, it is very difficult for you to make a bad decision. Because though it might seem bad to you, be rest assured that God is not going to lead you astray. And at the end of the day, that decision is definitely something that is going to be good for you or beneficial to you. The second way that I ensure that I make the right decision is to listen to my instincts, to listen to my inner man. We all have instincts, we all have a consciousness, we all have an inner man. If you're a Christian, you can refer to him as the Holy Spirit, right? But we all have something inside of us that tells us or that directs us when we want to make a decision, or even in our basic everyday lives, there's something inside of us that tells us. For example, if I want to go to a particular place at a particular time, there is something inside of you that's going to tell you, okay, don't go here. That little voice in your head, in your heart, in your mind that just speaks to you to tell you that, okay, this path is dangerous, do this, don't do this. That little voice. And the more we listen to our instincts, the more we listen to our inner man, the more we realize that we actually make good choices. The third thing that can help with proper decision making is to train your mind, right? And how do you train your mind to spot opportunities? How do you train your mind to always go for the best? By educating yourself, right? By reading books, by listening to educational and knowledgeable content, right? Because you are a reflection of what you consume. So if you consistently consume things that do not edify you, that do not grow you, that do not promote your well-being as a person, when the time comes for you to use your, there will be nothing there because you've not been feeding it, so it can't produce anything. But if you constantly train your mind to see the good parts of every situation, if you constantly train your mind to be able to spot opportunities, if you constantly train your mind to go after the best, then I think that it will be easier Not, it might not be the easiest, but it'll be easier for you to spot a good decision when it comes your way, right? And how do you spot good decisions? By weighing the pros and cons. You have three different roads to go on. What are these roads about? Where do you think they're leading to? What do you think are the challenges that you might encounter on the way? Which challenge do you think that you are best suited to overcome, or you're best suited to handle? You just weigh the pros and the cons of these decisions. What is the likely outcome? What are the consequences if you take this or you don't take this? What is the consequence? Is it heavier than this other one? Before you make a decision, there are certain things that you have to weigh in on. You don't just make a decision blindly and hope for the best. But if you happen to make a decision blindly, that decision doesn't have to be the worst decision that you have ever taken. Now, hear me out. Previously, we talked about decision making, and we said that decision making occurs when you have two or more unknown paths to, walk through, or you have different choices to make and you're not sure because these choices are unknown. You don't know what the likely outcome will be like. So, for example, you have the choice to either go to school A or you have the choice to go to school B. Now, let's assume that you end up going to school A, right? So, you cannot say that school B would have been better than school A because you haven't gone to school B. So, you don't know if that would be a more terrible outcome or a more positive outcome. Do you understand me? I'm saying that you only leave one decision per time. For example, I wanted to go to the bank in the morning and I decided to go to the park instead, right? So if I went to the bank and I had a terrible time at the bank, I cannot say that, oh, if I went to the park instead, I would have had a better time at the park because I did not actually go to the park. So I don't know if that would have been a better time for me. Do you understand? We only leave one choice per moment. So it is up to you to make the best of the choice that you have taken, to make the best out of the decision that you have already taken. You cannot say that the other decision would have been better because you did not get to live. You did not get to see that decision play out in real time. So that might even have been worse. You might be having a bad time in the decision that you took. But if you are taking the other decision, you might even be having a worse time. So really, you cannot say. The point I'm trying to make is that whatever decision that you make, the power to make that decision be the best for you is oftentimes in your hands, right? It is you that is going to say, okay, this choice that I have made, I have to make it work for me. I have to see it to the end. I have to make sure that this choice favors me no matter what. I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to give it my all. Sometimes we underestimate what we can really achieve when we put our minds to something, which is why there's a saying that your life is in your hands, right? And your life is in your hands, meaning that the choices that you make lies in your hands. The decisions that you make ultimately determine how your life is going to turn out. So making those decisions is up to you. You are the one with the choice. So you will determine, if I wake up in the morning today, what am I going to do with my 24 hours that I have today? Right? What am I going to do with my 24 hours? Today, the choices and decisions that I make, are they going to make my life better? And even if I made a bad choice yesterday, if I made what I think is a bad choice yesterday, what am I going to do about that? Am I still going to work harder? Am I still going to give it my best shot to make sure that that decision ends up favoring me? So most often times the choice is ours. The decision lies in our hands. There is really no good and bad decision at the end of the day if you look at it like critically. Because whatever decision that you make, you also have the power to make sure that that decision favors you. If you were going to go to school A and you ended up going to school B, it doesn't matter. You can still make the best of whichever place that you find yourself in. So a new cafe opened up in Abuja and I'll be going to check it out. So come along with me. Firstly, I didn't get the address properly, so it took me a while to really locate the place. But when I did, I was so impressed because I do know the owner and I'm aware that this is something she has wanted to do for a while. So I'm so happy for her that it has finally come true. I'm so impressed and so proud. The place is so nice, so comfortable. I really love the decor of the cafe. Minimalistic, very nice, very cozy, not over the top. just nice enough for you to feel welcome. When I first came in, I had lemonade because it's really, really hot outside and I was a bit dehydrated. So I had a glass of lemonade first. And then for lunch, I had toast. There was mixed berries on top, there was ice cream. It was really nice. The toast was soft, it was fluffy, it was tasty, delicious. I really liked it. Overall, I had a nice time at the cafe and I would definitely go back for an easy lunch. Right. So let's head back now so we can finish the discussion for the day. Thank you. Our quality of life is equal to the quality of the decisions that we make. New decisions produce new results. New actions produce new results. So if you've been making the same decisions over and over again, every day you wake up in the morning, you spend your 24 hours in the exact same way and you see the same results year in, year out. This is 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. When you wake up in the morning, it's time to do something different with your 24 hours. New results are only produced when we take new actions. And more importantly, not taking a decision, not taking an action is even worse than making a terrible decision. Sometimes people get there's this thing that if you're in danger, you either freeze. There's either flight or freeze, right? Some people freeze when it comes to making a decision that they don't really understand. When it comes to making a tough decision, some people freeze. They get stuck in the moment. They get so scared that they are not even able to make a choice at all because you're so scared of making the wrong decision. Now I'm saying that it is even better to make a choice, make the wrong choice, realize that it's the wrong choice, and see how you're going to make it work for you than for you to stay stuck and not even make any choice at all, not even make any decision at all. So I think we talked about this before. What kind of person do you need to be in order for you to be making the right decisions? Firstly, you need to work on yourself, work on your mindset, work on the way that you see life, improve your knowledge, just educate yourself, grow yourself, just get better as a person, improve yourself as a person. And the moment you improve yourself as a person by reading books, by studying, by engaging with content that grow you and edify you as a person, but even the friends that surround us have the power to impact us either negatively or positively. Because sometimes when you want to take a decision, right, if you've noticed, you ask the people around you to weigh in on that decision. What do they think? You ask for their opinion, you ask for their suggestions. So the people around you also determine the kind of decisions that you make, which is very, very true. There's a thing that they say that if you're surrounded by three idiots, over time you become the fourth idiot because you are a reflection of the people that are around you, basically. Yeah, so work on yourself, grow your mindset, surround yourself with the right people, and when you grow yourself and you become a better person, there's something that you become reliable, right? You know that you can now rely on yourself because you have become the kind of person that you used to look up to, right? So if you take a decision, you trust yourself that you have made the right decision and you trust yourself to see it through. There's something about saying you're going to do something and actually going along with that thing that you said you were going to do. It improves your trust in yourself that, oh my God, I said I was going to do this thing and I actually did it. You make yourself reliable to yourself. You become a person that you can trust. You become a person that you can even look up to, right? So there's something about personal relationship with yourself. There's relationship with your friends, your family, people outside, but there's also a relationship that you have with yourself. When you improve the relationship that you have with yourself, you also improve the relationship that you even have with others. And you realize that when you improve the relationship that you have with yourself, the way that you are, the way that you act, the way that you think also improves.